Hello everyone. Today we'll deal with the provisions of Civil Procedure Code that deals with return of plaint. So Order 7 Rule 10 of CPC deals with it. So now let's start. So Order 7 Rule 10 Sub-Rule 1 says, subject to the provisions of Rule 10A, the plaint shall. So this statement is given in the brackets. Why? Earlier it was the plaint shall only. So in the 1976 amendment, this statement was added. So subject to the provisions of Rule 10A, which we will come later, the plaint shall at any stage of the suit, mark the words, at any stage of the suit, be returned to be presented to the court in which the suit should have been presented. That means the suit is instituted in a wrong court, so the current court will return the plaint and will direct that please present the plaint in a court in which it should have been presented, or the next court in which it will be presented should have the jurisdiction of the suit. So the explanation of this sub-rule is, for removal of doubts, it is hereby declared that a court of appeal or revision, that means a appellate or revisional court, may direct, after setting aside the decree passed in a suit, the return of plaint under this sub-rule. That means the appellate or revisional court will first set aside the decree passed earlier by the court, then it will direct for the return of the plaint. Sub-rule 1 said about the returning of plaint. Now sub-rule 2 says what is the procedure on returning plaint. So on returning of the plaint, the judge of the court who is returning the plaint shall endorse what? The date of presentation of the plaint and return of the plaint, plus the name of the party presenting the plaint and why the plaint is being returned. For that, a brief statement of the reasons. These shall be endorsed upon it. So now let's see an example. Suppose a suit is filed in a revenue court, but that suit is not triable by the revenue court. Then the court, that means the revenue court, will not dismiss the suit, but it will return it to be presented before the proper court, or the court which will have jurisdiction to try the suit. So another important point, the power of return can be exercised only in respect of pending cases and not decided cases. So now let's see Order 7 Rule 10A. It says power of court to fix a date of appearance in the court where the plaint is to be filed after its return. So let's understand this rule in the following procedure. Suppose when the suit has been instituted, the defendant has appeared in the court where the suit has been instituted. Then if the court is of the opinion that plaint should be returned because I don't have the jurisdiction or something else, then it shall intimate its decision of returning the plaint to the plaintiff before returning the plaint. So the next procedure is, the intimation is given to the plaintiff that I will return the plaint. Then the plaintiff will make an application to the court, may make an application, it's not mandatory. In that application he will specify that where the plaint is to be presented, that you please specify where or in which court I will present the plaint. Also, to make an application that it will include to fix a date of appearance. That means the court who is returning the plaint, he will fix a date of appearance of the parties in the proposed court and requesting to give notice to him and the defendant. And in the application, the plaintiff will request the court that please give a notice to me and the defendant that this plaint is returning and it is also being presented in a proposed court, and also the date of the appearance of the parties. Then the court shall, before returning the plaint, will fix the date for appearance and also give the notice of such date of appearance to the plaintiff and the defendant. Now the notice has been given, also the date has been given, then the proposed court or the court where the plaint is to be presented need not further serve summons on the defendant unless otherwise required, because the said notice given earlier is deemed to be a summons for the appearance of the defendant. Then subrule 5 of this rule says application of the plaintiff to fix the date and to give notice is allowed by the court who is returning the plaint. Then no appeal against the written order of plaint further will be allowed. If the application of the plaintiff is allowed, then he cannot further appeal against the written order of the plaint. Now let's see Order 7 Rule 10b. It says power of the appellate court to transfer suit to proper court. Suppose it is the case where the court is returning the plaint and the plaintiff is not making an application but is appealing against the order of the returning of the plaint. Then what are the powers of the appellate court? Suppose order for return of the plaint has been passed, appeal against the said order has been filed to the appellate court by the plaintiff. Then the appellate court confirms such written order. That means it confirms the return of the plaint. Now, if the plaintiff files an application before the appellate court that please give me a proposed court where I will institute the suit, then the appellate court may direct the plaintiff to file the plaint before a proper court, that is where it should have been instituted subject to the provisions of the Limitation Act. Now the direction has been given by the appellate court to present the plaint to a proper court. Also the appellate court will fix a date for the appearance of the parties. Then the proposed court where the plaint is to be presented after the direction of the appellate court need not serve any further summons on the defendant unless otherwise directed, because the appellate court has already fixed a date for the appearance. Then the direction of the appellate court shall be without any prejudice to the rights of the parties to question the jurisdiction of the court. So this is all about the provisions of return of plaint under CPC. Hope you will like it.